You know, you learn every time we have our calls. And, you know, this call is going to be fun because he's about half my age, and yet I have already learned a lot from him. So, are we excited to get things started? Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Yes.
Hello again. Hello.
Exciting. Okay. So today on our team call, I'm excited because, you know, I always have said that when you want success, you find somebody who has that success and you follow them. Well, what happens if that person is half your age? What is going on here? And I know that, you know, you've heard some of the leaders talk about him. You've heard the founder when he's talking on different calls talk about this guy. And I was almost gonna say kid, but I don't want to do that because when you hear from him, he doesn't sound like a kid. But, you know, I've got kids older than this guy. And I am still excited to find out how he has the title in Zinzino of ambassador. Now, that's a pretty good monthly income, but it also takes a lot of work to get there. And so I really want to bring him on here. And I want it to be this kind of call where everybody on here says, really? Well, if he can do this, I can do this. And just to get that inspiration about everybody can build this. And I know there's a lot of young people out there who say, you know, a lot of the leaders that we've seen here, they're all a bit older. Can we do this? And I want you to say the same thing too. So by the end of this call, doesn't matter what age you are or what country you're in, you're going to be able to say, I can do it. Okay, so let's bring on our special guest. He is from the Czech Republic and at a young age of 27 has reached the level ambassador. Please welcome Adam Skoda. Hello, Adam.
Hello. It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone, that you are joining us, and I'm really looking forward to our interview. Thank you very much.
I am too, Adam. Okay, so, you know, everybody's going to find out, you know, you were sponsored into this industry. Did you start in other businesses or other companies, or how did you get started in Zinzino?
Yeah, so I would say that we have to go back to 2018, and it was November, and I was sitting in Istanbul, and I was having meeting with one of my colleagues from USA, from Boston. And at that time, I
Okay, and this is
had
just a second now. This is the job that you were doing. This isn't part of Zinzino. So
no.
you were
This is
working.
the beginning and the reason why. So it was not Zinzino. At that time, I just started my own investment company, and I wished to close a deal with those colleagues from US. And it was basically the top where I wanna go, because they were managing billions of dollars, 3 billions under asset management, those partners they had. And I was sitting in the meeting with them, and it was very rush restaurant, so many noises around, and so many people. And then those very smart guys were explaining me how to manage successfully money, how to do everything with proper securities behind. And you know, I could understand them for 40 minutes, but after 40 minutes I lost my concentration, because I am not naturally English speaking person. So I was feeling that I'm losing something, and I was feeling ashamed. And then what happened, we've agreed on something, but I was feeling very miserable. And when I came back to my country, to Czech Republic, I was looking and searching for how to improve my brain functions. And I found a list, and it was like 10 things you can do for your brain. First thing was that you should breathe deeply every morning, so your brain will receive oxygen. And the second thing, it was very interesting, there was omega-3s. The second thing, what you can do for your brain in a Google search. And I said, oh, that's interesting. I have omega-3s in my fridge, but they taste very, very interestingly not well. And I was not, you know, I was not acting as I wished to. So what happened that 1 month after that, it was December 2018, I have met my friend and she gave me a book. We didn't see each other for 5 years, and she gave me a book, and then she told me story about one little boy who had ADHD. I didn't know what is ADHD. Now I am training doctors about ADHD and what we can do with our concept. And I didn't know just 3 years ago. I didn't know what was ADHD, and she told me that he's really got improved. And if I wanna know more, that she can give me a contact to his father, which was her friend. And I said, okay, it's interesting, because she told me that we can measure omega-3s. And I was just interested in the product which can boost my brain, so I could do my entrepreneurship
Okay.
in an investment.
So
And yeah,
let's just gather that up, because as soon as you started talking, I'm sure so many people were thinking, wait a minute, you're only 27 now, and 3 years ago, exactly this time in 2018, you had been starting your own investment company. That puts you down to very, very young. You know, you're 24 years old and you're doing some investments, and you don't feel like you're performing well enough, or you're calling it like you're not doing real well. So you're looking at how to improve your brain function, and you see that omega-3s are really important. So that's how something triggered in you. So you were entrepreneurial from the start.
yeah, since my 17, when I changed my lifestyle, and yeah, I started
Okay,
to
that's
focus
already
on
that's already
performance.
crazy, Adam. Okay, so you were already, doing things at 17 to be an entrepreneur. That is incredible. And you had done different things from years to years. And when you're 24, you read this that's going to improve your brain function, and you need to improve your brain function. And number two thing is omega-3s, and you've got it. But then you hear about this gal who said it really helped, and you could talk to this guy, how it helped his son. That's how I understand it, correct?
Yes, 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 everything is correct. Very well said.
Okay, so this guy, I know that you really love him and he loves you, but this ends up to be your sponsor.
Yes.
Okay, so what did he say? I mean, he's got kids, so he's years, years older than you, right?
Yes. Yes.
But yet he hears about, I don't know, you were looking at the product. So what did you sign up just for the products, or did you see this as a business? What were you looking at in Zinzino?
Yeah, as the story goes on, so it was December. I have met this friend, and then she gave me the contact. And in January, I was sitting with my friend in his room in his house, and we decided to call him because we were really interested in very good product. He devoted us 45 minutes, and he explained us how everything works. And he explained it that if we will take the test as well, he will help us to understand what the measurements means. And I didn't want the test before, I wanted to buy the product. It was my main concern. But if he said, and this is a very important sentence, he said, if you will buy it with test, I will help you. We are using that all the time. I will help you to explain the result. So I started as a regular customer. I bought this for myself and also for my friend. And then because those guys from US, they didn't follow, they didn't send me the agreements and contracts, and I was without any money at that time, and I lost faith that I could build my investment company without them, because I wanted to cooperate with them. They promised me so much and they didn't follow. So I asked him after several calls if there is some possibility to help and to earn something. So I really asked for that. So I started as a regular customer, and then we are in January 2019, and I asked, so we have met, and we have met also with our common friend, and he explained me the plan, and I didn't understand it honestly. Till today I don't understand everything well from that sense, but I really saw that we can do something with subscriptions, and if there is subscriptions and high retention, I knew I could build the business with my own customers and maybe the network. I didn't know, I didn't have any previous experience with product-based business, so I didn't know if somebody will be buying that and will be willing to cooperate on that, but I knew that I am able to sell because it's
Okay.
really good product.
You're in some ways it's really exciting, Adam, because we're hearing, you say you didn't have this experience, you knew a good product, you could talk about it. But so if you didn't have experience, you're young, and you just say, I can talk about that. And then it's only, 2.5 years, not even 3 years since then, since you signed up. And actually, I mean, even in my own team, sometimes I hear them say things like, it's hard when you're younger. I mean, you must have had people say, what do you know about that, Adam? How do you know about this? So if you don't know the comp plan, but you knew the products, so did you dig into the products and find out like the information on them?
Yeah. What is till this day, what is the main concern and my main interest and my main focus is on this kind of technology, because it means so much, and you can study as deep as you want to, and if you can study it, you can trust in that, and then you can explain that to others. So I really didn't care about my age. I don't think it's a advantage or disadvantage, it's just age, but I think the knowledge about this technology can really change the world out there, and I'm the evidence of it, because last week I was speaking. Ciao, ciao. I was speaking at the largest medical symposium of sport medicine in Czech Republic. I have no degree. I went to the music school. There were professors, our prime minister of health, 250 doctors, the athletes, our Olympic teams, those kind of people. And I was speaking them, and after my lecture, immediately 13 people were tested. Today, I was saying ciao now to one doctor. She was from that symposium from last week. We've just closed deal for 5,000 euro because she is buying for 30 Olympic dancers, first Olympic sports in dancing in upcoming Olympic Games, and she is now buying that, and we are like equals. And she's asking me what this can do for her patients and her dancing girls and dancing boys, which are preparing for Olympic Games. And
Wow. Okay.
this
Well,
is
this is absolutely crazy, Adam. I mean, we just have to back up because
and
I
all
think
is true.
I know, but I think you're giving everybody partial heart attacks here, because they're thinking, You don't have that experience. Your education actually was in music, and yet you start Zinzino. Within 3 years, you're an ambassador, and you now actually had no issues. You were standing in front of hundreds of people, that the minister of health and all these things, and doctors, and you are doing this at 27 years old. Now you're saying that the age isn't an issue. Age is no issue. You haven't had anybody think, or is it that you have, because we can hear you know it. You know that you sound confident in it. Is that what you're doing? Is you're sounding confident in it?
Yes, because I just studied and still I'm studying what omega-3 index means. That's all. That's all the magic. If you know what omega-3 index is and how meaningful it is, what, for example, Dr. William Harris did. This is you can type it down if you don't know about this name. Dr. William Harris. He's the leader in omega-3 industry. He is in this industry since 1980. So it's been almost half a century he's involved in that. And he was the man who signed and wrote a paper, documents about omega-3 index. And now we are using his 8+% omega-3s and those kind of norms. And it is incredible how big studies he had conduct, and now you can train other people on that, and it can really change the world, and there is no arguments against us. So if you understand that, you have no reason to be worried about anything, because you will just explain, and then you go forward, and you are changing the way people are treating themselves, and understand the prevention, for example.
So it is absolutely crazy. So actually, just the knowledge, and you are leading with the test. I mean, of course, the test, we all know how important it is, but you've been digging into the test and the omega index. So finding out how important the test is, that's what you're leading with?
Yes, that's the main, because you don't want to argue about anything. You want to be sure that what you are saying is true. You want to have plenty of evidence that when you say something, you know it is true, and then you are free to share it with everybody, with your family, with your neighbors, with the people around you, and also with very foreign people who are medically educated but don't know anything about nutrition.
So you're saying that even when you're talking to doctors, because you had a room of hundreds of doctors, and I've heard that actually, I mean, the Czech Republic has been growing like crazy, and there's a lot of doctors in your group. And I said something about you're one of the youngest of people, or I said, I think, we're older than you, and you said, yeah, everybody's older than me. And it's true. There's not a lot of the young people in here, but you've just been rocking it, just by leading with the test and talking to the doctors, and you don't have anybody talking to you in regards to your age or saying you don't know this, or is it because you're backing it up by science?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so if people really want to be growing their business, they need to really understand the importance of the Zinzino test, correct?
Yes, that's what I say. Yes, because that's it. And then omega-3s are also widely understood, but the test is the evidence so that the balance all works, and
Okay.
this is the core. Yeah.
So then who were you contacting? I mean, did you start contacting friends and family, or did you start contacting some of the health professionals there?
No, I didn't have contacts from the health industry and from the medical industry. So I started with people I knew They were my friends, some investors, then also some people I knew from some kind of network marketing companies. Then I've contact people who were interested in a law, because if you do investments, lawyers are always around. And I was seeking those kind of people who are positively and open for health. So if I knew that there is some kind of lawyer who is doing some detox programs and other things, I contacted him, and he gave me some contacts. So I was working through the network I have, and they were sending me to other people. So I didn't
Did you
have.
have anybody saying no to you, Adam? It sounds like you just went out and talked to everyone. Did
Yes.
anybody say no?
Yes. Plenty of people, they said no, directly, more often indirectly, that we didn't meet again, or we didn't see each other since then. Um, or they bought, I don't know, one bottle, for example, or I gave them one bottle, one test, and they didn't want to know the results. It happened everywhere, and we just need to focus on the other ones, because
Okay.
we cannot save everybody. We can save some who wants.
So
That's all.
did you use your upline, like, being 24 when you got started, you know, if you're talking to friends and family, were they going to also say, Adam, you don't know what you're talking about. You studied music. How are you going to understand what health is? And how do you know what
Yeah.
all this is about? Did you have that kind of people saying that to you?
Yeah, they still talk like that. I have two brothers and two sisters, and it's approximately half and half. Half is taking our products and are very happy, and the second half, they don't, and it's very hard to talk to them, to be honest. And yes, so yeah,
Okay,
that's it.
so did you when you're talking to like aunts or uncles, did you use your upline? Because your upline was older than you, so did you use help with that?
No, but from the beginning, I was using my upline all the time. And I think this is the most crucial part if you want to start a new partner, and you want to be good leader for your partners. It's very important to have some kind of agreement. We've never spoke like that, but every time I asked him, "Can you come to my city and visit my friends and explain them what we are doing?" Because I have no experience with that. I'm the beginner. He always came, and I had to follow. It means that I had to set up those meetings, and it was kind of my responsibility. And since then, when I am registering new partners, I always look at this ability and this skill and this inner responsibility. If I go somewhere, it means that there must be meetings, and
Mm.
then I can help. Because if I go somewhere and there are no meetings, I cannot help. I cannot train. I cannot teach, and everything's like go down. And this is the point. So I always invited people, and I always assure that there were people. And since Tomáš, it is the name of my sponsor, he never was selling, but everybody was always buying.
Mhm.
Nobody said to him no, because there is very powerful story of his son with the ADHD, and also his parents. They got improved. Everything was correlating with the test results, but from the beginning, 39-1. 4-1 second test, he started to speak, he stopped peeing himself, he started to sleep through the night. Those kind of results, when he started to share with others, everybody wanted to buy.
Okay, so
So
you also, because that's one of the things we really promote here also in the North American team, is really how powerful the stories are. Like we heard from the annual event, the stories are powerful the more we look at them. So in some senses, you get started, you didn't have the experience, and you started talking to your friends and family, and you still have brothers and sisters. They see what you're doing with this. They know you. They see others are taking it and they're still not taking it. So that's, I think, good news for some people to hear that you're getting some no's. But but in 2.5 years, Adam, seriously, 3 years now that you've been in Zinzino, or since you started taking the products, you haven't even been in the company 3 years, for Pete's sakes. This is just crazy. So, so is that just because you're doing, 100 meetings a day? What are you doing to get it going this crazy?
I was doing so many meetings a day, not hundreds, but approximately 10 meetings a day from the beginning. And it was 11 months in a row. So since I'm single, I don't have any kids, and I was really under the big push because I invested everything to my investment company, and I also borrowed money on this entrepreneur venue, and I had no income, so I had to also leave my flat 2.5 years ago because I was not able to pay my rent. I had also the credit cards loan, 4,000 euro, and there was 25% of the fee I had to pay annually. So it is really a lot if you have no income. And so I was focused, and the focus is the key ingredients for a large success, because
So were you setting goals and things too? Did you say, okay,
I
this is
had
what I'm
no
gonna
time. I
do?
was just working and working and working. I knew that I have to do presentation, because this is the process where you are learning, when you are getting to know what you are actually doing. And if you are so pushed from those, outside things,
Mhm.
then you have no time even for setting goals. You are just working, and then you are becoming professional. And if you are professional, people are buying so many products from you, other people are joining you, they are inviting you to explain what you know, what you have in your brain to their people. They are not ashamed to invite you to their best contacts, and you are just rolling this ball, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. And it's just matter of energy and time which you are putting inside. So
Okay, so
11 months
you
in a row.
actually you must have been like just getting all the information you can then, both for the products, but are you also doing things personal development wise? Because if you're working on being leadership, or are you just doing a lot of meetings, or are you doing both?
Now it's different than it was from the beginning. And I know, for example, this month I have almost the credits I need to become a royal ambassador this month. But my third yeah, it's not so shiny everywhere. But my third team, I was not focused on that much. I was not doing so many meetings with them, and now I'm lacking the credits just from the third team. And I can blame only myself, because I was not having so many meetings, because I'm organizing some seminars, and I do many other stuff. But it means only one thing: I'm not focusing enough to build the momentum with them again. So from the beginning, there was no day I would not have presentation. Nowadays, I was, for example, 1 week preparing myself on the large symposium. So I was declining every calls, every ask, everything, because I wanted to perform there. And from the beginning, I was not doing so. So it
Can I
changed.
can
Yeah,
I
from
just
the
ask,
beginning.
because somebody did ask about on the chat here, how did you get in front of these people at the symposium? Is it because you've been, yeah, I'm gonna have you answer that.
Yeah, it was coincidence. Basically, I was invited, and coincidentally, 3 weeks ago, we had our on the annual event. We rented a place in one hotel in Czech Republic. We were approximately 25 people there, and we were watching the annual event. And there was one guy, and he is a friend of my main leader from my team, and she asked me to explain him what we are doing, because he was trying for 2 years to get some of his attention and there was no success. So she invited me to talk to him, and he said, it's interesting what you are saying, and in 2 weeks we will have a symposium here, and if you want, you can speak here. We must be very quickly because the program is issued and we have to put you inside, but it is really nice what you are saying about the omega-3 index, about the pharmaconutrition, and so we will be very happy to have you here. So
okay, so
that was
it's your
I've got
confidence that you've been doing this for a while, and that people knew, you know, that you were being very professional when you were explaining this. So you must be quite proud. I mean, like I said, I have kids your age, Adam, and as I'm listening to you, I'm getting proud of you, thinking, but I'm I'm also excited because there's so many of us. We all have the same products. We have the same test that you are working with there, and we can. There's so many people in this world that we can do that exact same thing with, if we just get more and more knowledge about things. And you've given the name here of William Harris, and to study on that, and actually just study up. There's so many videos in our Zenzino.tv. We could be learning from that. There's so many videos Dr. Paul has done, Dr. Colin has done. The more we learn. And I can also hear that you're also doing that personal development because you're working on becoming that leader to get that the momentum going in your team and growing those leaders too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
you
that's
just
true.
said something about momentum, and you weren't getting the same momentum in your third team. Otherwise, you'd probably be hitting this royal ambassador. And so your momentum is coming from the number of meetings people are putting in the team. It's the number of meetings that's making that momentum. And because you were having so many meetings at the beginning, that's what started the balls rolling, correct?
Exactly, because on each meeting you are getting excitement, because maybe the people will promise you something, maybe they buy something, maybe they are excited what you just said to them, and you go to another meeting and you are sharing the information from the previous meeting, and then it is the momentum, and you need to be in that position. I believe it's just my belief. It doesn't have to be any pro quo or some status quo or whatever. It's just my opinion that if you really do it this in a big way, you wanna be excited, but not fakely excited. You wanna be really excited based on the results, and it's just the promises and also the new contacts. And don't I was never counting money in this business. I felt always that it is too good to be greedy in this kind of business. In investment, I think it's fine to be greedy. This is the field where it is okay, but in what we are doing, what Dr. Paul Clayton is trying to convey, is where he's trying to improve the public health, and we have one of the best tools we can use for that. So with this kind of mission and purpose, I've never were counting the money or were focusing, if I go to this meeting, will I receive enough? No, never. I've never did it. I just was focusing.
But speaking of the
How
money,
can I help?
one of the things is that as an ambassador, you are creating quite an income also with that. And so it's not something you're going to be wanting to give back. You must be enjoying. Do you have goals of what you want to do? What are your goals, Adam?
I actually set up a foundation So I'm trying to give back as much as possible. And I set up a goal. I want to have 100,000 kids in balance in 2 years. And now I'm getting support from some other donators in Czech Republic. And I'm buying products for the kids. We started with cerebral palsy. Those are the children which are paralyzed. And we did a study. We gave this to 20 children. We were watching them for 1 year. I'm getting information every month from their parents to Excel sheet, also from the therapist, and those results are incredible. And now I'm moving that we really should till the end of this month to have products for 400 kids to give them to balance. And this is my
Wow.
passion.
I can see it. I just see your smile going through of some to have somebody who has that. I mean, I've always said I really believe things are meant to be and nothing happens out of, you know, coincidences. And I can see people are writing that same thing here in our chats here, only divine appointments they're writing. And you're building to give this to children at such a young age. I mean, that's really powerful, Adam. I just we're doing something in Zinzino. It's not just about the money. It's about the, you know, what the who we're affecting and what we're doing with that. That is incredible. I'm getting more and more proud of you, Adam. So I can see somebody asked here too about how many people have you affected in your less than 3 years in Zinzino? What is your T number, meaning your total customer and partners that you've put in the team?
Yeah, I think that the number, I'm not watching that very carefully, but I think it's over 13,000 subscription we have there. And yes, and several hundred partners who are working, and but devoted only tens of partners, like fully devoted. It's not so many. It's actually quite incredible how few people can help so many others. It's not this business, it's not about thousands of partners to be successful. It's about few who are devoted, who are who have, they must have their whys and be willing to put their hands to on work. So that's all. Yeah.
That's incredible, Adam. Adam, I am totally amazed at the things that you've accomplished, not only in Zinzino, but in life. So can I ask you one last question here? What is it that you are most excited about for the future?
It's a good question. I wanna see more people be as excited as I am, and I wish that the people will be able to see the big vision what we have behind the balance, I would say. So I'm excited about that. I want to see Zinzino to become something really big and nice. Not only big, but really nice and meaningful. I wish that we will not lose the sense of help and sense of doing something for others, because when we do something for others, and if this is good, it's always good also for us. But to have this purpose, you know, first, I wish for it, because it's really easy to lost this sense and to start to be, like I said before, greedy or selfish or not be so willing to help others, and then, you know, it destroys the good vibe in our organization. And this is something I really wished for. And yes, I'm excited because I saw so many cases when we bring people to balance, to have good omega-3 level, and what it did for them. And for those others who maybe didn't feel so good or didn't see the big difference, like for those others, maybe they can be very grateful that now they have much better in our situation than the other ones. And yeah, that's also the excitement. I hope that I answered, and I want to also thank for all those chats. I'm always reading them, and it means a lot for me. Thank you very much for all of you who are writing such a nice words, and it really means a lot for me.
And
Thank you very
Adam, there
much.
are so many people saying in the chat here, you just can't even follow along, and how many people are agreeing with you and want more people to have that heart that you are showing with this. Because if we really are leading with heart, we're going to want to be helping people. And I love the fact that all of the signs in here are saying you didn't have that experience. You had a hunger. You had a hunger to build. You had a hunger to make a difference. And that's exactly what you're doing, is making that difference in more ways than one, especially with that wonderful foundation. And so I think just seeing what you have done at such a young age, that it gives inspiration to everybody, no matter what age they are. And it also is that you're really following the system. You're doing a lot of meetings and you get your nose, but it's not about, if people are doing a meeting or two a week, and if they really want to grow this, you did a huge thing, and it's worth it to put in 10 hours, for a period of time to really build a great foundation of growth and get that momentum going. But actually, do you believe that everybody can do that? Because like I said, when I started this, I wanted everybody that was young to feel that they could do that, but also everybody else who is, no matter how long they've been in this business, I wanted them to have that same feeling. They can build the business too. What would you say to that?
I would say surely, yes, everybody can do it. Not everybody will do it. And there is simple explanation for that. You really need to have the reason. And the reason, based on my experience, it must be something real, not the fake reasons. Because if you have fake reasons why to do it, then if you say, if you hear the no, then you stop, because it just crush you. And if you have big reason, for me, I was very lucky that I was in so bad situation that if I have heard no, I was not able to hear it at all, because I had to move forward. And I like to play golf, and when I started to play golf, which from the beginning I had to stop to play. I was not able to be 1 year on a golf course, because it was impossible for me. So I have read that for the golfer, and maybe this is a good question for all of you, do you know which hit is the most important for golfer?
What is the most important hit? You're going to have to answer that one for us.
It's always the next one. The next one is the most important, because even the professionals which are on the TV, and they are making millions of dollars, millions and millions, and they can hit 1,000 times from 1,000 hits, one very simple hit. But if they are on the TV and there is something around, and maybe they are trying to win the tournament, they are able to miss what you could do 100 times from 100. You could do it, even though if you are not golfer, but the one they are able to miss. So if they would be, crushed with this one miss hit, they could never be a professionals. That's the reason why the next one is the most important hit always. And the same is valid for customers, the same is valid for partners. And we just need to have this in our heads and move forward, always move forward.
I love that. I think that's a great note to end on. So it doesn't matter where you are in this business right now, everybody. The most important thing is the next one. So who are you going to talk to next? Who's the next customer? Who's your next partner? Adam, I can't thank you enough. You have been such an inspiration, as you can see everybody writing on there with so many different things. And actually, I want to thank you for coming on and giving us all of your inspiration. We so appreciate it.
Thank you, all of you. It was my pleasure to be here with you, and I hope that we will see each other in person. It will be my pleasure to shake your hands and hug you and see with all of you.
We
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it. Everybody can unmute and say thank you to Adam.
Thank
Thank
you.
Adam.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Karla.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
We love you.
Bye-bye.
Adam.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. That was
Bye.
incredible,
Karla.
Adam.
Thank you, Karla.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Karla.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Karla, too.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, Adam. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.